Hey guys, it's Hannah and welcome back to the Dyslexic Reader. Today is a very exciting day for me. It's the day that the library reopens. Well, it opened 2 days ago, but I haven't been able to go. But today I can go and it's going to be my first day back at the library. The library has been closed since I think the 16th of March or something. And I'm super excited. I still have one library book out since then. I went just before the lockdown and stupid me only got one book, and it was a book that I read and I didn't even really like. So my last library trip was not a success, but I'm going again today. I don't know where that came from, but I'm going to take you guys with me. I don't think I'll be able to film in the library. We'll see. It depends how busy it is. I just don't want other people in my shot because they might not want to be filmed, and I don't want to go around asking people who are in the library and older people like if they mind being filmed. And my library is very small, so it's unlikely, like if there's like more than 3 other people in the library, that I'll be able to actually get like a shot of me looking at a shelf without other people in the shot, because it's literally like my library is like 4 bookcases. So I will go and have a look and see, but I'll take you on the walk anyway, and then I will talk to you after about how it went and what books I got. But first I just wanted to let you guys know that if you're going out, please be safe. I'm going to bring hand sanitizer. I'm going to wear a mask. You can only spend so many minutes in the library at a time. Everything has to be done like self-checkout. There's no person-to-person interaction and social distancing and all those other things. So just if you are going out, please be safe. I'm just super excited. The library means so much to me and has done so much for me that I am just absolutely buzzed to get back. But I don't want you guys to think that I'm just like recklessly going out, because cases here are getting worse again. But my fear is that the library will close again, so I'm going to take this back, which I've had again since early March, and I'm going to get out a lot. I don't think I'll be able to restrain myself. Also, I am doing the Fall Into Reading Challenge. I've got the little bingo card here that I printed out. And in terms of like historical fiction, graphic novels, a book published this year, I don't have a lot of those on my shelf, so I'm going to specifically be looking into those, I think, and seeing if I can get some of those. But I'll also be getting, I think, a lot of middle grade, because that's typically what I get from the library. A lot of middle grade. I don't buy it because I find it hard to get. I buy a lot of my books secondhand. I find middle grade hard to get secondhand, and also I don't feel like you get as much value, because a middle grade book I could read in an afternoon, whereas like a big adult chunky fantasy book could take me a week to read, but you're paying the same price. So I just prefer to get middle grade books out of the library rather than pay for them. So I'm going to be getting middle grade books, graphic novels, historical fiction, and we'll see what else we come across. So not sure if I'll see you in the library, but I'll definitely film my walk and I'll see you after. So trip to the library was successful. I'm just walking through the park home now, and yeah, it was a really good trip. I got 6 books in total, 1 graphic novel and 5 middle grade, and I will show you them when we get home and I can actually take them out and stuff. But there was a one-way system. There was a member of staff on the door, and she was making sure everyone wore a mask, hand sanitized and temperature checked. She took all your returning books, and then you browsed. You had so many minutes to browse and you had to check out yourself, and it was basically empty. But I didn't want to film because the staff were running around like head cases, wiping everything. Everything's been all laid out differently, so it's more space. So
Worked really well. I felt really safe, and the sun's come out, so I'm going to extend my walk home by doing a look at the park, and when I get home I can set up the camera and show you all the goodies that I got. I don't know if you guys can see this, but there is little bits of nuts raining down on me from up in that tree, so I'm pretty sure there's a little squirrel up there somewhere. So cute, there's so many squirrels here.
We are back. I know it's probably not smart to film here actually because I'm going to be backlit, but I want to sit in my rocking chair and have a cup of tea, so this is where we're going to be filming. Before we started, I wanted to show you my library bag because I don't think I've ever showed this in any videos, but this is the bag I take to the library. Sometimes I'll take a backpack if I have really heavy things, but generally I take this. It's a little like plastic vinyl shopping bag, and it's got loads of cats over it. It's locally made as well by the Ulster Weaver Company, I think. Yeah, Ulster Weavers. And I have a little pin on it which I got in a museum in Newcastle, which is where my brother used to live, and you can't really see it, but it's a wee book with a ribbon on it, and it says "My best friends are fictional." And this is my little library bag, and it's lined, so it's waterproof, and there's a wee zipper pouch for my keys and things, and I just really love this bag. But on to what we got at the library. Well, the experience first. I know I kind of mentioned it on the way home, but it was, I walked home the long way. It's only about like a 10-15 max minute walk, but I was enjoying the walk so much I looked around the park on the way home, which I mean normally fine, but I was sick all last week at the doctor's on 2 different courses of antibiotics for an infection. And today is really the first day that I felt up to going. As I said, the library's been open for a while, but I just wasn't up to it all week. And I feel fine, like, but I don't think I was up to such a long walk. But we're home now, and it's all good. And it's almost lunchtime. But yes, I was going to talk about the experience first, right? The experience was fab. It was weird for me because I have walked past the library a lot. As I said, it's only like 10 minutes from me, and it's near a park, and it's near a major road, and it's near loads of shops, so I walk past there all the time, and especially during lockdown. And like some days it would get me really emotional, not just because the library and books, but like it was something that used to be such a part of my life, and I just overnight lost it. And it wasn't like, I obviously couldn't see my friends and family, which was harder than not being able to go to the library, but I could still phone them and talk to them and FaceTime them, but the library was kind of just stopped. So I found that one of the hardest things, because it didn't feel like it was adapting and changing, it just felt like it was taken away. And it was kind of a goal of mine. I would always walk past it and think like, oh, maybe soon, maybe soon, maybe soon. And then in July they started to announce some libraries were open. My library was the last library in the country to open, and I could have went to one of the other ones, but I didn't want to. I wanted to go to my local library. And so it was quite a big deal for me to finally get to go, because as I said, it was such a big deal for me when it closed, and it was one of those things that in lockdown I walked past it and it would get me emotional, but I would also be like so hopeful that like it will be soon, maybe in a couple of weeks, and it really like also kept me going. But it was also weird because it's so different. So there's a box outside where you had to return books. So you had to put all your return books in there, and someone took them away and sanitized them. There was a member of staff at the door, took your temperature, made you sanitize, and made sure you were wearing a mask and gave you instructions for how to work inside. It was all one-way system. Everything has been spaced out, not only the shelves, but like the books are like in wee pockets. Not all the shelves are full of books. I guess that if I'm browsing over here and you're browsing, like there's no books, so like two people won't be standing close together. I'm not sure what the idea of that was. To browse seemed okay. I was a bit wary of lifting books up to check the blurb. You just got a spoiler of my graphic novel. And then putting it back on the shelf. That felt weird to me. Like that someone else would come along and get that. Whereas the books that you return have to go into storage for 3 days before they can be put back on the shelf. But I suppose they've been in your home and stuff. It's more than just like with a mask on and with freshly sanitized hands, lifting a plastic cover out and reading it and putting it back. But that did feel like a wee bit wrong. There was loads of staff all over the place wiping everything down and helping people. It was virtually empty. There was maybe like me and 2 other people the whole time I was in there. And then once you picked your books, you had to go to the self checkout things, which were always there, but now that's the only way you can do it. You can't go up to the desk, and there was only one of them working, not the 2, so that 2 people won't be standing close together. There was wipes and you had to wipe the whole thing down before you used it. And normally you could return and check out books there. You couldn't return the books there. You could only check out the books there. And that was kind of it. So it was a mixed bag for me. It was a good experience. I felt really safe, but it was super weird. And it was also emotional for a lot of reasons. But as I said, it was a successful trip. So I got a graphic novel. That was the first place I headed. The graphic novel section isn't even one shelf in my library. It's like this wide, and the most of it is comics, and this probably could fall into a comic maybe, but it is a Star Wars graphic novel. I've always been a massive Star Wars fan since I can't even remember, so little. And but I've been on a real Star Wars kick recently. I've watched like 3 of the movies in the last week. I'm rewatching the Clone Wars. I just got into it when I was sick and couldn't do anything else. And I also have a Star Wars graphic novel that I started just before quarantine and left at my parents' house and then couldn't go and get it. So I was like 50 pages in and I left it there when I was down visiting them. I brought it and I had left it, and then I couldn't get it back for months until I saw them again. So that had been left there, and then I haven't picked it up again, but I'm going to go back to the start and read that again since I'm in the kick again. And I got this for my graphic novel for the Fall Into Reading Challenge. It is called Showdown on the Smuggler's Moon, and by looking at the back it looks as if it's set in Empire Strikes Back timeline. Luke continues his quest to learn about the Jedi by heading for the Jedi Temple on Coruscant. When his lightsaber is stolen, he finds himself entrapped and imprisoned. Will his friends come to his aid before he's forced to enter the Arena of Death? Meanwhile, Han and Leia are confronted by an unexpected foe. The Imperial are closing in, yada yada yada. Yeah, so it seems like it's set in The Empire Strikes Back after Dagobah, before they're reunited, or maybe before Dagobah. I'm not sure. I'll have to look into it a wee bit more, but like the art style is class. There's one of the huts. Oh wow, look at that. That's cool. So, and this is a Disney. Yes, it says Disney on the back, so this is going to be a more recent comic, obviously, since I think it was 2015 that they bought the rights. Well, this is volume 2 in a series, but I don't think it will matter too much. The first one's called Skywalker Strikes, but I don't think it'll matter too much. This will just be a fun little afternoon to get into. Then we have, I believe, 5 middle grade books. This one, I just love a longer, bigger middle grade book because I like them a lot. I like that they're quick as well, but like I also enjoy longer ones because you get more out of it. But I didn't really look at this one. Again, I was weird about picking stuff up and really looking at them. But this one is called Head Kid Body Swapped Mind Blown Chaos Rules by David Badell. It just says on the back, all children shall wear whatever they like. There shall be only running and shouting and bumping into each other in the corridors. All children should make as funny and stupid noises as they can in class, and all homework is cancelled forever. Strictest head divided by naughtiest kid equals chaos. And by the way it shows the cover and the way it says body swapped, minds blown, chaos rules, it makes me think that like the naughtiest kid in school gets body swapped with like the head boy or whatever, and then chaos ensues. So that sounds like a lot of fun. This also, a couple of these are all new. Some of these might fall into my, I didn't want to open books and flick through them so much if I wasn't going to take them. So some of these may fall into 2020 publications. This one's not, this one's 2018, but it's certainly new to the library. It's clearly never been read and I've never seen it before. So this one is called The Great Sea Dragon Discovery. And I love oceans and I love dragons, so what is there to lose? Dad has lost his job and Mum is really ill. Billy feels that it's up to him to make things better, even if that means dropping out of school and starting work at the coprolite diggings? Not sure about that word. Then one day he makes a great discovery, a gigantic sea dragon hidden underground. Billy and his friend Alf think this amazing ancient fossil could change their lives forever. Can Billy finally prove himself and make everything right? So it seems as if they find some sort of new fossil. That sounds fun. Then we have the maker of Monsters. The glare from the library plastic makes it hard to see, but it is a really beautiful cover. The back is gorgeous too, by Lorraine Gregory. Let's see if we can find a publication year, 2019, so this is last year. It says on the back, Brad has always lived in the isolated castle on the island, taking care of various creatures that his master creates, waiting in terror for the moment when they are ready to be put to use. But then the unthinkable happens. The monsters get out. Now Brad must overcome his fears and venture into the world he has hidden from his whole life, for the fate of everyone rests on his shoulders alone. And that just sounds super fun and interesting to me. Then we have Straw into Gold, Fairy Tales Respun, and this is just a bunch of fairy tale retellings. Wonder if this, I think this doesn't look quite as new. 2018 by Hilary McKay. Illustrated by Sarah Gibbs, so this is going to be illustrated as well. Let's see if I can find an illustration to show you guys. There's an example. A fabulous collection of imaginative retellings inspired by classic fairy tales from award-winning author Hilary McKay. I don't think I've ever heard of her. Features new version of old favourites. This 10-story collection includes Rapunzel, Cinderella, The Princess and the Pea, Rumpelstiltskin, The 12 Dancing Princesses, The Pied Piper of Hamelin, The Swan Brothers, Hansel and Gretel, Snow White, and Red Riding Hood. And the last one is The Girl Who Speaks Bear. Again, seems 2019. So these are probably all have been bought since the library shut down. They never made it to the shelves beforehand. They call me Yanka the Bear, not because of where I was found. Only a few people know about that. Found abandoned in a bear cave as a baby, Yanka has always wondered where she is from. She tries to ignore the strange whispers and looks from the villagers, wishing she was as strong inside as she is on the outside. When Yanka has to flee her house looking for answers about who she is, a journey far beyond anything she ever imagined begins. From icy rivers to smouldering mountains, meeting an ever-growing herd of extraordinary friends along the way. And that just sounds like a really nice, fun fairy tale kind of story. So, let me get these all piled up so we can take a good look at them. But I think that was quite a nice, neat little library haul. If you have read any of these or heard of any of these or the authors or anything, let me know. Thank you for joining me today. It was a really fun morning, and yeah, it was just fun to document because it's something that I've been waiting on such a long time. I hope you're all happy. I hope you're all healthy. I hope you're all staying safe, and hopefully I'll see you in my next video. Goodbye.